Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another episode of the NES Happy Hour with Fitz and Master G. Oh, you guys are great. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. This is the NES Happy Hour with Fitz and Master G. Welcome to the show, folks. I hope you're ready for some good old-fashioned retro gaming fun today, because that's what we do here on the channel. We play retro video games. It is Retro Gaming Adventures with Master G. I'm Master G, your host. That was Fitz, my loyal canine companion. It's a little hot in this room here. I think he wants out. I'm going to just let him out. He made an appearance. His influencer status is waning. I feel like little Fitzgerald needs to be on the show a little more. Sometimes he comes up and takes a nap, but that's what we do here. This is the happy hour after all. This is my happy hour. I'm here in the U.S., so I just worked a long, hard day at the office, and I like to unwind after a long, hard day by playing old school Nintendo games for my own personal collection, and that's what we do here. It is our mission to play through each and every original Nintendo cartridge, share each and every original Nintendo game manual with you here on the NES Happy Hour show. But it's more than that. We've got cocktail recipes, and they're original cocktail recipes, and we give them cool names. They're Nintendo inspired. They pair with the game we're going to be playing today. That game is Xevious. Xevious the Avenger, a Nintendo port of an arcade classic from NAMCO. Yes, indeed. If you're tuning into the chat, hello, thank you for watching. Mitch, I see you there. I don't know if anybody else is there. My view count still says 0 viewers, but obviously you're here. After we do our cocktail segment, we like to take a look at these original game manuals. I like to share these with you, scan them into the computer, give you a taste of what it was like back in the day when you got color game manuals with each of your games. And then we play the game for a little bit on the show. And the fun's not over when the gameplay ends, because every episode ends with a bar trivia challenge, where yours truly plays game show host, and you, our live virtual audience, tuned in at home, get to play along. We'll put the chat up on the screen above me. You can shout out your answers to my bar trivia challenge, Xevious edition today. There'll be 5 questions, multiple choice, A, B, C, or D. Guessing is strongly encouraged. It's probably not quite as strong as yesterday's bar trivia challenge was, because these old arcade games like Xevious, the game we're going to play today, I got to tell you guys, we've been doing, we're over 100 episodes. This is episode 102. These games give me nothing as far as material for the bar trivia challenge. It is very hard for me to come up with questions for these games, but I did my best today. I think you're going to enjoy it. I think it'll be fun. Let's talk a little bit about Xevious here. Mission: seek and destroy Xevious enemy aircraft and bases. Xevious is like the enemy alien race in this game. Your equipment: a fighter plane with laser pulse anti-aircraft missiles and bombs. Skillfully maneuver your fighter through treacherous airspace to gain the strike advantage. This game, believe it or not, if I am not mistaken, came out in 82, maybe 83 here in the States, in the arcades. That's right. It was licensed to Atari to make the cabinets, I believe, and there was probably an Atari version. I'm not actually sure. It was ported to many different consoles. Took a few more years before it came over to the NES, but this is a very important game in the genre of space shooters, vertical scrolling shooters. This was actually one of the very first games, if not the very first games from the 80s, 82, 83 era, to incorporate pre-rendered graphics. That's right, they painted a level, a static land with formations and things. You remember those old Atari games. It's always just a black screen. There's barely any color, you know. But in this was like one of the very first times they used pre-rendered graphics to build an environment, an atmosphere, to engage the player, make them feel more like they're really there and not just looking at a computer. So it's going to be dated, guys. I'll tell you that. Like, you know, the sound's terrible. It's like 82 arcade sound. The graphics aren't fantastic, but the game itself is an important part of video gaming history, and I think it plays a little easier than most of those nightmarish vertical scrolling shooters that we've played so far on the show. As far as the vertical scrollers, we played Star Soldier and Legendary Wings recently. Star Soldier was just a nightmare. I mean, it was a great game. Check out the Star Soldier episode. I mean, I love the game, but you play Star Soldier as an adult, and I'm an adult. You play Star Soldier on the original NES for 60 straight minutes, and you walk away just like drenched in sweat, exhausted, like my forearms were sore the next day, because it's just so hard. It's just so much button mashing as fast as you can and like scrambling nonstop, relentless. This one's a little slower. It's a little easier on the thumbs. I think we'll get a little farther in this game than we usually do when we play these shooter games. And then who can forget the classic side scrollers like Gradius, Life Force. We featured those games recently. The NES library is packed full of games like Xevious, but Xevious is the father of all of them. This one came out first. It was the precursor to all of the future vertical scrolling shooters, space shooters, plane shooters like 1942, 1943. Good to see you guys, newcomers to the chat. Tiff, welcome aboard. I see you out there. I know we don't have the chat up on the screen, but I see you live in the chat. Good to have you. All right, let's get into that cocktail segment, shall we? I told you we had an original cocktail. We always do this on the show. Let me first tell you about these goals. These goals are new for Season 6. You might be watching after the fact. You might be a live viewer tuning in for the first time. We're gonna implement some goals for this season. Mainly, between Season 5 and Season 6, we got monetized. And that means I am finally able to offer you, our loyal fans and viewers, paid channel memberships. Now, I said to Google, I just want it to be like accessible to everyone. I want to give everyone all these emotes I've designed. Look in the chat. Mitch was our first G Club member. Google said, we can't give them away for free. You have to charge something, and the lowest they would let me charge was 99 cents. So that is our membership tier for Retro Gaming Adventures with Master G. Only 99 cents a month. That's all it's going to cost. Gets you in the G Club, gets you a loyalty badge, gets you custom emotes, and the more members we get as we go, the more special perks I'm planning to unlock. And our first goal is 5 members. So we have 2 members so far. If we get to 5, I'm going to give you 2 more emotes for the chat. And then we'll set a new goal and see how many more we can get. Subscriber goals, even more ambitious. I want to have a t-shirt store on my website because I do a lot of fun designs. And I really want to have t-shirts to go with each of the games that we play. We do the cocktails to go with each of the games. I want to have t-shirts to go with each of the games. But Google won't let me have a t-shirt store until I have 10,000 subscribers, which means we got to get 10,000 subscribers this year. We're only at 1,794, so we got a ways to go. Tell your friends, tell your family. Click the share button, copy the link, put it in your Twitters and your Facebooks and your Instagrams. Tell everyone you know to check out Retro Gaming Adventures with Master G and the NES Happy Hour for great original content free on the YouTube. If you tune in live with us, I'll give you the show commercial free. No breaks in Season 6. We're going to go straight through 1 hour. Going to be a blast. And then finally, we have the Game Fund. That's right. For donations, which can be made at www.fitsandmasterg.com/tip. It's a Streamlabs donation page. You can contribute to the Game Fund. I'm really looking forward to a Christmas episode this year, and I really want to play Die Hard. I don't have Die Hard or the manual in my collection, but together they're about $180. So if you feel compelled to donate by putting $1 in this tip jar up here, the one up there, you see it, that's what the money goes for. It's going into the Game Fund. We're going to buy original cartridges, original game manuals to feature on the show. So it's just the donations, but I want you to feel like if you're donating to the show, you're getting something back. And I really want to play that Die Hard game by Christmas. So we have all year to get there. Think about it. Think about supporting the show either by becoming a subscriber for free, a G Club member for 99 cents, or making a donation of your choice to the Game Fund so we can purchase Die Hard and the original game manual. But enough of that. Let's have ourselves a Blaster Bomber. This is, of course, our alcoholic cocktail for this episode. The Blaster Bomber, named after one of the weapons in the game. It starts with some muddled basil. You see my muddled basil down there? This is a very herbaceous drink, by the way. That's the word for it. Starts with the muddled basil. You mash it all up, release all that flavor. You add 1.5 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of yellow chartreuse, which is also very herbally and bright neon yellow. Serve it all over ice and top it off with some orange juice, and you have yourself one blaster bomber to drink as you play Xevious. Cheers. Woo, that's a good one. It's like drinking a spicy salad. No, I'm just kidding. But let's be real here, folks. Fitz and Master G do not condone underage drinking of any kind. So if you're not of legal drinking age, wherever you may reside in this world, please do not mix yourself up a blaster bomber, because there are two weapons that the spaceship in Xevious is equipped with: the blaster bomber and the air zapper. The air zapper, the name of our second cocktail, is actually a mocktail. No alcohol in this one of any kind. Just as fun to make and drink. It starts with muddled basil in the bottom of the glass. Mash up that basil, put in about 2 ounces of ginger ale, serve it all over ice, stir it around a little bit, and then top off the rest of the glass with some orange juice. That's all you need. Basil, OJ, ginger ale, non-alcoholic mocktail called the air zapper. Also delicious. So mix yourself up one of these if you feel compelled. If not, just grab yourself a snack and whatever you like to drink and settle in, because we got a show for you, folks. We've got a show for you. The manual, that's next. That's what we got next. Let's see what's in the chat. I see Mitch spamming the emos. Stone Cold Parkin', what's the game fund? You missed hearing it? Ooh, the game fund. Well, I think the Streamlabs Cloudbot is going to tell you about it, but if you missed it, it's right above me. We're trying to raise money for this game and manual here, and it's an expensive one, but we have all year. It's going to be our Christmas episode, so take your time. Let's talk a little bit about that game manual there. The Xevious manual is short and sweet. I think we're going to get through it quick. There it is, folks. I hope you can see it up on my screen. Bandai released the NES version of this game. I actually didn't know that, because I know it's a trademark of NAMCO. Released in '83, it seems. Xevious. It's a classic arcade game. By the time it came out on the NES, it was a classic arcade game. It begins with what we call the Sovalu Fighters. That's the name of the spaceship, the Sovalu. I think we are the Sovalu. I don't know. They just reference it as the Sovalu. That's your character, your ship that you are controlling. It's got anti-aircraft missiles and surface bombs, the blaster bomber and the air zapper. The bomb sight is shown on the indicator attached in front of Sovalu, so you can drop bombs on enemy bases as they appear during your flight. You got a little targeting system, so you know where your bombs are going to go. The air zapper is just like any other shooter game. It's your gun. It's just your gun. There's no power-ups in this game. This was a very early shoot 'em up, so they hadn't really worked out power-ups like they did later on with Gradius, but the enemy floating fortresses are called the Andogenesis, or Andogenesis will appear. You got to destroy them. They're like the bosses of each level. It's a very simple, straightforward game. Let's take a look at the controls. I don't think the controls are too hard. You can start to pause, you shoot, or drop bombs. That's all you need to know about controls. So surface bombs and anti-aircraft missiles are the weapons. Drop one bomb at a time. Shoot missiles continuously. Use your bomb sight. Flashes red when it sights ground targets. Your enemy are the Xevious forces. They are the bad guys in this game. They're on the air and on the ground, and more points are scored for hitting the ground forces. It's all about points. This was an arcade game, a quarter eater. That's what this game was about. The borders between the game areas are indicated by forests. You only have to get 70% through an area. If you get 70% through the level and you die, you get to proceed to the next area. That has to do with the way the game was rendered. They had some very old technology when this game was originally made. But look it up. It's kind of interesting to read about. Your air characters. Again, the graphics for this game aren't especially evolved because it originally came out in 1982 or 83. And for that time period, these graphics were absolutely spectacular. Legendary, revolutionary. But most of the enemies that fly around on the screen are still basic geometric shapes, kind of like reminiscent of Galaga, Galaxian, Space Invaders, these old-timey arcade Atari type games. You got your Toroids, your Yaras, your Zoshis, your Z-Carts, your Talkins, and the Sovalu. That's you. That's your aircraft there. You got your Barlas, your Soulbox, your Domograms, your Delotas, your Globders, and your Lograms. Many of them are circles of different sizes and shapes. That's what they are. Now, the Globder is pretty impressive. It's a manned amphibious vehicle. It doesn't attack you, though. It's a ground target. You just drop bombs on it for points. Looks like we got Retro Nintendo joining us in the chat here. Fun fact, the NES version of Xevious was featured as a bonus game in Star Fox Assault. After all, NAMCO worked on that game. That is a good fun fact. I should have used that in my bar trivia at the end. Retro Nintendo, if you've never tuned into the show before, at the end of every episode, I do a multiple choice bar trivia, and it's usually got one or two interesting tidbits like that about the game history. Unfortunately, I did not get that one into the bar trivia, so look forward to 5 awesome questions later. You see in this screenshot here, this big sort of pyramid-y gray, it's purple on the instruction manual because the whole thing's purple. I'll show you to prove it. It's a very pink manual. This is the one. This is the one we're looking at on the screen there. Everything's pink. They just chose a purple ink for the printer and went with it. That's what you're trying to destroy at the end of every level. Now, the core, when it's bombed, the Xevious attack firepower is temporarily stopped and you go to the next area. That's a silly way of saying you need to blow up the core, and that's how you beat the boss. Now, it's got weapons ports, so that's what's shooting at you. You do want to avoid getting shot down because, you know, it's a space shooter, so, I mean, that's kind of how it works. And your remaining number of Sovalu fighters, shown in the center of the screen at the beginning of each game. If you get 20,000 or 60,000 points, it adds 1 additional fighter. For every additional 60,000 points, an additional fighter will be added. That seems contradictory, but I'll go with it. Why not? And your winning strategies are this. Xevious troops become increasingly fierce. To defend against them, destroy the enemy information system Solbach so that the Xevious fighting capabilities will be reduced. Enemy positions follow patterns. Learn to recognize them. Outsmart your enemies. It's all pattern recognition in this game. Most of these space shooters were, but this one was the first of the vertical scrolling space shooters to really take this genre to the next level. And that's going to be it, folks. That's your 90-day limited warranty, your compliance with FCC regulations, and your back cover. Cheers. We got some cocktail recipes, we got a game manual, and we are ready to fire up that beautiful console behind me. I already got the game in there. I think it's going to work first try. But if you are a G Club member, now is the time to spam your blowin' it emote in the chat. Fingers crossed, she fires up first try. Ready? Here we go. Boom, there it is. I didn't even need your blessings. I gave you the blowin' it emote, and we didn't even need it. All right, let's continue here. So I told you, it's got some bad music. You see that little target? That's where your bombs go. And the rest of this game is just button mashing. I don't think you get any power-ups. Like, you're just playing for points. So it's like why, you know, they figured out, like, they should give you bonuses when they evolved this genre. But originally, this is all it was. You know, it was just going for points. Try to get 2 for 1. Get that guy because he's shooting at me. I missed that one. See, I told you, it's already a little easier, isn't it? It's a little easier than our average space shooters that we've played so far on the show. Because most of them are brutally difficult. Just brutally difficult. Are those things shooting at me? Oh, they are. Oh! Ate it. Okay. Oh, I can't kill that thing. Okay, that's good to know. I don't even think you have, like, a limited amount of bombs. I think you have unlimited bombs, too. Oh, wow, I didn't expect those. Alright, this is my warm-up game. Give me a break, guys. Just give me a break. You know I always get clobbered when we play these games. Man, their bullets are going fast. Ah! Almost got me. Yeah, you want to try to get both of them, I think, when they're paired like that. I told you, all the enemies are just circles. But, you know, give them a break. Came out in 82, right? So, I mean, you know, this is top notch. Is the first to have this, like, pre-rendered graphical background to make you feel like you were flying over terrain. So that was brand new for the genre. A nice touch. Alright, my thumbs are already getting tired. I'm already losing it. Uh-oh. Let's time that one. Okay. Oh, what are these? Now we got some floating blocks. Ping, 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 ping. Interesting. This alien race is quite strange. They have some strange aircraft flying at me. Can I blow these up with bombs, maybe? No. No, I cannot. I can shoot my bombs through them, though. That worked. Ah, finally some aircraft that shoot at me. Oh man, that's not the one I wanted to get. Alright, 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 alright. Now we're getting the hang of it. Now we're getting the hang of it. Whew. I think I'm just gonna run away from that thing. Alright. Oh, I can't kill that thing. That must be an unkillable enemy. Are we on to the next stage yet? Where's the boss? I feel like the boss must be near. I feel like the boss must be coming out any second now. Ooh, missed it. The ones that shoot at you first. You want to get rid of those. The other ground targets are just worth a lot of points, and you need points to get your extra lives. Oh, we got some new enemies. Oh, it's the boss. It's the boss. Okay, so that was a mistake. Do not try to fly past it, guys. Do not try to fly past it. Yes, this one hurts. I do need a turbo controller for this one. Mitch, you say it never ends in the chat? If you get to level 16, you technically beat it? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Retro Nintendo, your favorite NES game is Super Mario Bros. 3. Well, that might be one of my favorites too. It was our 100th episode. We did a super long stream. It was like 3 hours long, which is unusual for the Happy Hour show. So check that out. Episode number 100, the Super Mario Bros. 3 stream. Okay, so this is just going to continue forever and ever. That's what you're telling me. There's no end. There's no like discernible, this is the end of the level. That's brutal. I didn't even get enough points for an extra life. I feel like I was playing forever. I think I'm just going to avoid those guys and save my thumbs. I'm just going to go after the things that shoot at me. Because, I mean, yeah, like, see, those are really annoying because they shoot at me. I don't like getting shot at. No bonuses. No bonuses in Xevious. So, you know, what do you guys think of this game? It's pretty primitive. I told you it was going to be, though. I mean, we probably should have, like, started. This probably should have been the first shooter that we featured. Because it was the first, really. I mean, it wasn't the first, but it was the first wildly popular one. And the one that everybody else that came afterwards used as a template. Man, that was hard. I couldn't dodge that bullet. It was chasing me. Alright, well, I'm just going to keep button mashing here. Hopefully my thumbs can handle it. Missed that. Oop, missed it. Oh, I missed it. Oh no, I got it the second time. Oof. So I guess those are supposed to be like roads, and the tanks are like the tank alien aircraft or spacecraft are trying to like invade or something. You know, originally this game was actually supposed to be like a Vietnam thing, and you were supposed to be flying a helicopter. Believe it or not, true story. I read it on the internet. It must be true. But they scrapped the whole design team like halfway through. And then like they brought in like a new guy, and they were like, you know what, let's make it spaceships. and aliens instead of Vietnam and helicopters. But might have been a little bit of a different game, you know? I don't know how different it would have been. Let's be honest. It would have been exactly the same, but with different sprites, and it probably wouldn't have had these spinning walls. Because, I mean, that really wouldn't have fit with, like, a Vietnam thing. The original name of this game was going to be Cheyenne. Yeah. You were going to be flying helicopters. It's true. I don't know if we've played any games where we've gotten to fly helicopters yet. I'm sure there are some out there, but I don't think we've played any yet. 102 episodes in, we haven't ever piloted a helicopter, have we? We've tried to shoot some down, I think. Oh, how did that not work? I wonder, like, are the levels different? Are they, like, random or, like, procedurally generated or, like, what? You know? Or does it really just repeat over and over again? Does anybody remember? That wasn't my high score. I got a higher score the last time we played. It doesn't even remember my high score? Not even enough memory to remember my high scores? I didn't turn it off. Alright, fine. Guys, is there any cheat codes for this one? Not that cheat codes would be that interesting or relevant, because I mean it's such a simple game. It's the template game, right? It's the prototype for the vertical scrolling shooter. That's what this game is. It's a prototype. Get them both. Whoop, missed that one. Double whammy. Oh man, I don't know why I went that way. That was dumb. That was no good. I mean, how much donut shooting can you do? What are these? These are like rings, I guess. I don't know if donut's the right word. They kind of look like donuts. Now let me think of a different nickname. I don't like those guys. I don't. They're unpleasant. They're really fast. And I think they're the only spaceship that shoots at you other than the ground targets. Because even the enemy boss is kind of a ground target, isn't he? Oh, look, there's so many of them. I don't remember this. Whoa, what are they shooting at me? It'd be cool if this game were like somehow procedurally generated. Like, I don't remember that. Was that part of the first playthrough? Did we get to that section? Was I just talking to you? Like, I don't remember that enemy. I remember this. I remember this section. The roads and stuff. Oh, that must be like, I must have got 70% of the way through. Or something like it said in the manual, so it just like skipped me ahead. I don't know, man. This game, I said this game would be easier on my fingers and my arms, but I lied. It's not. It's not at all. It's not. It hurts me. You know what the problem is with putting muddled basil in your drink? It gets stuck in your straw. I can't find like a basil-less section. There we go. Cheers, folks. The Blaster Bomber. Signature cocktail recipe. Okay, one player. Let's go next. Got a rest, got a drink. I think we're ready to go. See how far we can get this time. Like, I feel like I don't get enough points to really rack up extra lives. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna have to beat half the game to just get, like, one extra life. That's kind of annoying. May as well just go next on this one. Maybe I'll just stay at the bottom of the screen. What do you guys think? Stay at the bottom of the screen and just avoid bullets until we get to the boss. Because, I mean, like, do you really have to kill anything? You don't. You're just killing things to get points, to get an extra life. That's the only reason you'd kill anything in this game. I mean, you don't have to. I could just stay down at the bottom, I think. Dodge the bullets. You know? Just go after the things that shoot at me. Oh, I missed it. That's alright. They stop shooting at you after a certain point. Ah! Juked myself right into that one. Unbelievable. Do you at least get bonus points for killing a whole group of them? Because I feel like I'm not even getting any... Go next. Go next on this one. I gotta focus. I gotta focus on this game. It's simple. But I am terrible at it. I think that's what we've learned. I gotta get me a turbo controller, right? You know, playing on this guy, brutal. That's something I need to get for Season 7. Pick up a working turbo controller so I don't have to suffer through this. Actually, suffering through it is important. I think it's important for future generations to understand what video games were like back in the day, you know? There was no haptic feedback. Or 7 joysticks built into your controller. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. No motion controls. It was just button mashing. Tons and tons of button mashing. Yeah, like, what is this thing? I don't remember this guy before. Are we at the boss? Oh, that's the forest. It said in the manual that the forest delineates a stage. So that's what that was. We beat a stage. Dude, he hunted me down. He got me from behind. Yeah, maybe 12,000 points was my record. I got to the boss. Alright, let's new strategy. Hang back and just avoid bullets. Just avoid bullets. I can do that. No, I can't. Guys, no, I can't. Apparently, I cannot. I'm not that skilled. No more button mashing for a minute. Okay, they only shoot 2 bullets at you. I don't know. Let's just be careful. Like, do we really need to kill things? No, we don't. We don't really need to kill anything but the final boss. You know? That's all I'm saying here. I mean, I just don't think we need to worry that much, you know? Let's just take it easy here, shall we? Woo-hoo-hoo! Clean house there. How about that? Okay, you do get a lot more points for the ground targets. Should probably go after them. At least some of them. Okay, these you need to get ahead of. Man, what is this music? It's just aggravating squeals. Do we determine if you can kill these with bombs? Oh, you can't. Okay, we did. You cannot kill these with bombs. In case you were wondering. Can I blow up this thing? Is this blow? Is this... Can I destroy it? Oh, I can. Oh, what was it? Oh, that was interesting. Was that like a secret? A power-up or something? Points? I didn't realize I could destroy that pyramid thing. Oof, we're on a runway. We got a runway here. All right, there's a boss somewhere. I'm crossing another forest. I never beat a boss. I never like attacked a boss or anything. Like, what's happening here? Is this the same level? Come on, let's get that extra life. Oh no, I was 520 points away. Oh God. Oh. 19,480. If any of you are playing along at home, that's the score to beat. Have you beaten me? Have you scored more than 19,480 points? I think not. What are you guys playing these days? We got about 10 minutes more in the gameplay segment before we go to our bar trivia challenge. I think I can get 20,000 points. I think I just have to hang back. I think that's the best strategy, just hang back. Did you guys know it was my birthday tomorrow? It's true. My birthday's tomorrow. People wanted to know if I'm gonna do fun things on the stream, and I'm not. Because I'm getting old. I don't wanna be old. I wanna be young again. Getting to the point where it's not fun anymore to celebrate birthdays. No, I'll tell you a little bit about what game we're playing tomorrow. Wait, actually, you've been playing Warcraft. Mitch, Warcraft and Valheim. Nice. Some classics. That's good, that's good. Anybody else out there? Anybody else in the chat? What are you guys playing? I never played Warcraft. Like, never in my life. I've never played Warcraft. Interestingly enough, though, I did go through a Hearthstone phase. I mean, it's not Warcraft, but, you know, it's Blizzard. I've also played a little Diablo, but never World of Warcraft. Like, it was always too much. Now, I did actually play the original Warcraft games, like, when I was young. Like, I had the Battle Chest, the Warcraft 1 and Warcraft 2, like, from the 90s. But I never played the MMO in my life, interestingly enough. I've dabbled in the MMOs, but I don't think Warcraft is necessarily my style of MMO. I'm more of a sandbox guy than a theme park guy. I still play Dungeons and Dragons, like in real life with friends. So like, I'm looking for those like role-playing type of MMOs, a little bit different than Warcraft. Okay, 13,000 points. Let's be smart here, guys. Let's be smart. Let's get these ground targets. Oh, I didn't get all 4. I got all 4 the last time we were through this section. I really impressed myself. I was like so proud of myself. I didn't do it that time. Gotta lead those guys. Oh, just gotta get out of this guy's way. Man, getting out ahead of him is not always the best idea, is it? Alright, we're making our run. 19,480 was our previous high score. We're getting close. We just gotta be smart about it. Now, what was the deal with that pyramid? There's a pyramid coming up, and I didn't mess with it last time, but I kind of want to mess with it this time. Yeah, I kind of want to mess with it. Yeah, like, what's that blinking thing? Did I get something for that? I guess not. Well, that was my question. Is there something significant about that thing? But apparently there's not. It's just a different type of geometric shape. Well, I beat my high score, guys. Got myself an extra life. Excellent. That's what I want to hear. That's music to my ears. Extra life. 1 up. Those guys. Oh man, biff that hard. Didn't even come close. That's all I'm gonna get. Man, they're shooting at me now. The circles, the hula hoops are shooting at me now. They weren't shooting at me before. I must have gotten a level. I mean, I don't even know when I've advanced a level. Like, it's not even clear to me that I've moved forward in stages. Stay back. Hang back. Hang back. Play it cool, Master G. Play it cool. Don't need to be aggressive here. We got a world record high score here. Oh my god, how do you avoid that? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do I just run up and drop a bomb in it? Like, what's the strategy for this boss? Because that was bananas. That was like seriously bananas. There's like no way I can avoid all that firepower. Not even enough real estate on the map. All right, somebody's got to look up the hints. How do you beat the androgenesis, androgenesis, whatever it's called, in Xevious? Unless you just button mash as fast as you can and try to take it out before too many bullets get on the screen. Is that what you do? Maybe that's what you do. Oh, come on, the lateral bullet? How am I supposed to dodge that one? It's coming sideways. I can't... Dang it. 30,170 points, though. I think that's where we're going to call it today. I think that's a high score that will stand the test of time. I don't know if any of you out there are playing Xevious. If you have this game cartridge of your own for your Nintendo, see if you can beat my high score. What was it? 30,170 points. I will give you a virtual high five and a shout out at my next stream if you can prove to me. I don't know. You guys are going to cheat. All right, post a screenshot on Twitter or something. Tag me. My Twitter handle is HeyMasterG. That's the handle for the show. At HeyMasterG. And, you know, I'll give you props if you beat my high score. 30,170 points. I promise. I'm good for it. I'm good for it. But that's it for Xevious. I hope you guys enjoyed that gameplay segment. I'm going to have a little more of my Blaster Bomber cocktail, and then we're going to get right into it. Our next segment, we're going to wrap up today's show. Who's ready? Who's ready? We got some bar trivia planned, folks. That's right. If you've never watched our show before, this is one of my favorite segments. It is the Bar Trivia Challenge. Oh, let me cue it up. I got to cue it up for you. Da-da-da-da. There it is, folks. Woo! You ready? You ready playing at home? This is the Bar Trivia Challenge, Xevious edition. Here are the rules. 5 multiple choice questions. I usually try to put them in order from what I think is probably the easiest to what I think is probably the hardest. And some days, all that goes out the window and I just go nuts with it. I do always save my favorite one for last, though. It's rarely ever the hardest one. Now, from here on out, above me is your chat. So if you're watching live, you have access to the chat. You can type. Go ahead and shout out your answers. Test it out. See the chat. Make sure it works. Let me know that you want to play because you, our live viewers, get to be real-life contestants in our Bar Trivia Challenge. I'm going to ask you 5 multiple choice questions. And you shout out your answers. If you can go 5 for 5, you get mad props, accolades, a space in our community hall of fame. It's not been done too often. I want to say maybe 5 or 6 times. Has anybody ever gone 5 for 5 on my Bar Trivia Challenge? So don't be discouraged if you don't know the answers. Some of them are really hard. Some games like Xevious give me very little material to work with, so I wouldn't blame you if you don't know the answer to some of these questions. But give it a shot. Guessing is encouraged. It's a lot of fun. We got a great community here. So I strongly recommend you play along at home. Let's get after it with question number 1. All right, folks, question number 1 is this. Which of the following arcade games was the very first one to have a TV commercial for it that aired in the United States? Was it A, Pac-Man, classic, B, Space Invaders, another classic, C, Donkey Kong, a classic, or D, Xevious, the father of all space shooters? Which one of the following arcade games was the very first to have its own TV commercial for it here in the United States of America? Those are your choices. Let's see your guesses in the chat. A, B, C, or D. I'm going to start the clock now. Let's go. What you got? I know the answer. Do you know the answer? I'm going to give you a second for the chat lag. I see Mitch is playing. G Club member. Mitch, you're going with A. Oh, you don't know me well enough, Mitch. It was D, Xevious. Yes, that's right. Believe it or not, the very first television commercial for an arcade game airing in the United States, of these 4 at least, was Xevious. Yeah, interestingly enough, true story. Commercial, television, advertising. Xevious was the first one of these 4 to take advantage of that. Believe it or not. I mean, at least according to the internet. I mean, I'm not a wizard. I'm not like a game historian. I just scour the internet because, like, I love you guys know this about me by now. I love trivia, useless information. I spend way too much time just reading the internet. So I love doing this. I just read everything I can find on Xevious. But yeah, I did read that very first to have a TV commercial for it airing in the United States. Believe it or not. I mean, you can fact check me. If you know I'm wrong, just put it in the comments. I reply to all my comments on my videos, so I will get back to you. Question number 2. Moving right along. It's this. The slogan. That's right. The slogan for that very same Xevious arcade television commercial that launched the game to popularize the vertical scrolling shooter genre was, "Are you blank enough to beat Xevious?" You fill in the blank. It was that slogan from the original commercial for the Xevious arcade game. Are you what enough to beat Xevious? Is it A, are you mischievous enough to beat Xevious? Is it B, are you devious enough to beat Xevious? Is it C, are you lascivious enough to beat Xevious? Or is it D, are you curious enough to beat Xevious? Those are your choices, guys. Which one do you think it is? Do you even know what all these words mean? I had to look up some of these words. All right, I'm going to put 10 seconds on the clock. Let's see those guesses in the chat. Fill in the blank. What was that slogan from the TV commercial for the Xevious arcade cabinet? I told you, I got to dig deep for these trivia questions. These games don't give me any material. You read the manual, I read the box. What kind of trivia questions am I supposed to come up for games like this? It's going to get harder and harder as we get into the hundreds, 200, 300 games, 400 games. When we've done 600 bar trivia challenges, I'm going to struggle to find original questions. Mitch, you're going with B, devious. That is a great guess. That is the correct answer. Are you devious enough to beat Xevious? Interestingly enough, I want to tell you a little bit more about this TV slogan. There was a second slogan. I don't know if it was like a second commercial or if it was part of the advertising campaign. Because, you know, companies who are advertising the same thing sometimes have like 2 variations on like the same commercial. They had a second slogan. They did have a second slogan. And interestingly enough, that slogan, as I understand it, was the arcade game you can't play at home. Because they were pitching it as a true standout arcade coin-operated unit. It revolutionized the arcades. It was the only cabinet at the time in the arcades with that pre-rendered backdrop that like full color pre-rendered things. I mean, people went nuts over this game. So they actually marketed it as the arcade game you cannot play at home. And interestingly enough, shortly after it was released, they started dumping it on every other home console that ever existed, I think. And it ended up coming out on virtually every console, and you could play it just about anywhere at home. But originally, the TV campaign was kind of like, yeah, it's the one that you can't play at home. Go to your arcade. It's better there. GameFun124, good to see you in the chat. I'm going to turn off our cloud bot. I didn't realize the cloud bot was still letting you guys know about our subscriptions and whatnot. All right, here we go. Back to it. You're just in time, GameFun124, just in time for question number 3 of our Bar Trivia Challenge. Question number 3 is going to be this one. Xevious is often credited as being the father of vertical scrolling shooters, but another game was the first to feature horizontal scrolling. Which game in the following list was the first to feature horizontal scrolling? Was it A, Bomber, a Sega classic from 72? 77? 70s. Was it B, Defender, another arcade classic, believe it or not, from the 70s? Is it C, Scramble, another shooter classic from the 70s? Or was it Gradius, a game we've played here on the show? We know from what I've told you so far that Xevious is credited as being the father of vertical scrolling shooters. But there's another game that was the first one to feature horizontal scrolling in a shooter. Which game was it? They get harder as we go. You really got to know your 70s video game history for this one. I'll put 10 seconds on the clock. Give me your best guesses in the chat. What do you think? Have you played any of these games? Because we have played Gradius. 10 seconds up. GameFun124, care to venture a guess? I'll tell you, we have played Gradius. That is a game we have featured on the show back in season 2? Season 2? Season 3? Maybe? We are going to play Defender. Defender was ported over to the NES. I do have the game. I do have the manual. I will look to feature that one day soon on an episode of the NES Happy Hour. Scramble never made it to the NES, but I have played Scramble in my life. The only one on this list I've never actually played in any format, on any console, even pirated or on emulation, is the correct answer, which is A, Bomber. Have you heard about this game, Bomber? Okay, so Bomber was the very first game to consider horizontal scrolling. And basically, what Bomber was is you moved an airship back and forth across the top of the screen, dropping bombs on little blocks that were meant to resemble like buildings, as I understand it. So you were like flying around bombing a city and you had to blow up each of the bricks. But instead of like like those brick breaker games where you're smacking things above, you're above all of the stuff and you're just hitting a button to drop bombs on it and you have to blow it all up. All the while there's other enemy aircraft side scrolling and trying to shoot you out of the sky. So that was Bomber, and it was a Sega arcade cabinet from way back in the 70s. I believe it was in the 70s at least, late 70s maybe. It was credited as the first one to feature horizontal scrolling. Now, Defender and Scramble both came out within like 1 week of each other, and both of them really expanded on the horizontal scrolling. Scramble, you could fly all over the place. Defender, you could go left and right. The map like looped around on itself. We'll feature that later in the episode. Gradius didn't come out till quite a bit later, so that is the incorrect answer. I will look forward to checking out Bomber, though, and we will be playing Defender on the show one day. All right, guys, question number 4 is going to be this. Xevious is also credited with being the first arcade shooter game to feature which of the following? The very first. Was it A, color graphics? Was it B, pre-rendered graphics? Was it C, extra lives? Or was it D, additional distinct levels? The very first arcade game credited with one of the following things. A, color graphics. B, pre-rendered graphics. C, extra lives. Or D, additional distinct levels. The very first. Which one was it? You have 10 seconds. I will start the clock now. Need a drink. I've been talking for a while. We only have one more question after this. I saved the best for last. I don't see any guesses. Who's got a guess for us? Super Mario Bros. Eli, good to see you in the chat. Just in time for the final question of trivia. Mitch is going with A, color graphics. Pre-rendered graphics is the answer. I tried to give this one away because it's confusing. But essentially, this was the very first arcade game to feature that map, so to speak, below you. Previous to this, usually it was just a black background, a black screen. Sometimes there were like geometric shapes drawn on it, but this was the first pre-rendered graphics, that map that they drew that extended above the screen and that the screen scrolled on. It was the static pre-rendered map. This is the very first arcade game to do it. So there you go. Man, we got a bunch of latecomers. We got Super Mario Bros. Eli in the chat. Good to see you. BBH MTV. You are late, but you're just in time for the very last bar trivia question. You missed the gameplay segment, so check it out after the fact if you want to see a little bit about Xevious. It's a very old game, a very important game, a historically important game, because it revolutionized the genre of first-person shooters. But it is a bit dated, and there's not much depth to this game. So fear not. You're in time for the fifth and final question. The fifth and final question is this. Solvalu and Andor Genesis. Now, you remember from the manual, Solvalu was the spaceship we fly, and the Andor Genesis was that giant boss at the very end that we failed to destroy in any of our attempts. Fifth and final question is, Solvalu and Andor Genesis both make an appearance in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Nintendo Switch, circa 2018. In which of the following characters taunt moves? I know some of you guys out there like the current games. I have a Switch. I love the Switch Lite. I play my Switch Lite. I collect the games. I never played Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I don't have that one, but I know some of you guys are fans. You probably play it. Believe it or not, these two characters, the spaceship you fly and the boss, are featured in a taunt move for one of the characters in Super Smash Bros. On the Switch. Which character was it? Is it A, Fox, that's Star Fox? Is it B, R-O-B, a.k.a. Rob the Robot, another playable character in Smash Bros.? Is it C, one of Pac-Man's taunt moves? Or is it D, a move from Mr. Game & Watch? If you've played this game, I'm sure you know the answer. If not, let's hear your best guesses. I know some of you have a Switch. I know some of you play Super Smash Brothers. I don't actually, though. What's your guesses? You got 10 seconds. BBHMTV is going with C, Pac-Man. Mitch says it's gotta be Fox, A. He is a pilot, after all. That's true. It makes sense that Xevious characters, the father of vertical space shooters, vertical scrolling shooters, would be featured in Fox. Eli, you're also going with A. That makes the most sense. That makes the most sense for sure. But the answer is actually C, Pac-Man. Believe it or not, I was tricking you. It was featured in Pac-Man. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, a whole bunch of Pac-Man's moves or taunt moves feature old-timey arcade characters from arcade gaming history. And I believe it's his up taunt. So the up taunt, when Pac-Man does the up taunt, it features Solvalu and Andor Genesis from Xevious. When he does different types of taunts, I think it features other characters from arcade gaming. But good on you, BBH TV. You must play Super Smash Bros. You knew that one. Definitely, you knew it. All right, so there you go. That was 5 questions up, 5 questions down. That was the Bar Trivia Challenge Xevious edition. I tried my best for this one. Guys, you know, it wasn't as strong as yesterday's. I'll tell you this, guys. I got to tell you about tomorrow's episode. But first, you know what? First, let's give yourselves a round of applause for that performance. Well done, everyone. Well done indeed. Whew! Cheers to you. Thanks for sitting through Xevious. I hope you learned a little bit today. I hope you did enjoy the bar trivia challenge. I had fun preparing it. Cheers. I hope you enjoyed our cocktail recipes too. Check them out. They pair very well with Xevious. A very tasty drink. Alright guys, if you were late, if you missed it, don't worry. The video is going to be up right after the show. You can rewatch any segment you would like then. Catch up on all that great action. I want to tell you about tomorrow. I told you today's trivia was weak because games like this give me no material. Tomorrow's trivia is my favorite one of the week. Tomorrow's also going to be my birthday in real life. And, you know, people have been telling me like, oh, you're probably going to do like a great game. Do your favorite game on your birthday. But we're not going to do a fantastic game tomorrow. And I'll tell you why. You guys don't understand how much pressure there is on me when we play games everybody knows and loves. Like, you know, games like Ninja Gaiden or Super Mario Brothers games or like Kirby or like, what else? The RPGs people like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, I love all these games and they're great games and I would love to play them on my birthday, but those games are very stressful to do on a live stream because we're playing original cartridges. I don't know if they're not going to work right, you know? And also there's this element of I'm not very good at these games, so what if I suck at the game? And then everybody's like, oh, that was disappointing. We only got to see one level because Master G's terrible. So the game I'm playing tomorrow on my birthday is an easy game, a game that's not like an all-star game. I'm going to play a golf game tomorrow because that's what I would like to do on my birthday. On my 35th birthday, mind you, is just have a nice relaxing round of golf. Tomorrow's game of the day is going to be Bandai Golf Challenge Pebble Beach. I've always wanted to play Pebble Beach. Now, whether or not this golf game for the NES is any good, I think it'll be interesting because it'll actually be the Pebble Beach golf course, which I think is fun, that in the 80s NES era, they were able to recreate an 8-bit version of the famed Pebble Beach golf course. But I'm telling you this also because there is so much good trivia about Pebble Beach. You would not believe it. I have 5 multiple choice questions tomorrow. All 5 of them are my favorites, and none of them are about golf. So stay tuned. Join us tomorrow. We are going to air tomorrow's episode at 5 p.m. Eastern. I don't have any work arrangements, so I should be able to start on time tomorrow. And we're going to play Bandai Golf Challenge Pebble Beach for my birthday episode. A nice, easy game where if it sucks, nobody cares. If it doesn't work right, nobody cares because it's just a golf game on the NES, and I can relax and not be stressed out on my birthday day. So I hope to see you all then. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I hope you come back for more and more great content. Remember to like our videos. Remember to click the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You can do that. Just click the icon in the lower right corner of the video or on the page for Retro Gaming Adventures with Master G. There should be the word subscribe. It's totally free. Click that. Next to it, you'll see the word join. If you want to join the G Club, we have 2 members. We're trying to get to 5 to unlock a few more emotes for you to spam in chat. It's only 99 cents a month. I'm committed to giving you a channel membership for my YouTube channel at the low, low price of only 99 cents a month. So consider joining the G Club, supporting the show. And if you do feel compelled, if you do want to donate, you can go to www.fitzandmasterg.com/tip. If you scroll up in the chat, you'll see the little cloud bot gave you a link to the website. That is our Streamlabs donation page. All of your donations made will go into our game fund where we're saving up to buy Die Hard for the NES along with an original Die Hard manual for the collection. We have all year though. I want to play that game for our Christmas episode. Probably going to be close to episode 200. So we have some time. But if you feel like donating, if you feel like supporting the show financially, consider joining for only 99 cents or donating on our Streamlabs donation page to help us acquire a copy of a rare game, Die Hard, for the NES. That's going to be it for tonight. I'm signing off. Have a great evening, everyone. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern for another great episode of the NES Happy Hour with Fitz and Master G. Bye-bye.